What's up, guys? My name's Alex. Thanks for coming back to the channel. Real quick, making a video on the 2011, well, this particular one is a 2011 Land Rover LR4. One of the big things people ask is, are they extremely unreliable? Are they a pain to own? Are they expensive to own? And the answer to all of that is yeah. So if you guys remember, I had a Land Rover Discovery 2 about a year ago. I actually sold that vehicle to somebody in Jacksonville, and I actually regret it. It was an awesome truck, especially after they did the head gaskets and all of that. It was super reliable and had no issues. So I actually got this one. This is, like I said, a 2011 Land Rover LR4 for $750. It was a trade-in at a local dealership that I work at, and the lady had driven it down, I believe, from like Detroit, and I ended up purchasing it. And I was a little worried at first just because I know the horrors that these cars can be, but I figured at $750, why not? Let's go ahead and take a risk. And it's turned out to be great. It has been a great machine. I've taken it to Florida a few times with absolutely zero issues. Part of that, though, is because it has been taken care of. So before me, the car had the timing chains done at about 130,000 miles. It is currently at 203,000. So the chains are still pretty quiet. No issues there. It's had water pumps done, coolant crossover pipes done, things like that. So items that I've added to it have been the terraformer sliders, which are pretty good. They're not the best. They actually look kind of like dinky. They don't look like they'd be very strong or hold up, but hopefully they do. I also added a Gobi roof rack to the truck. Now, these are things that were already on the vehicle. I mean, actually, no, they were not on the vehicle, but I had a white LR3, a 2009 white LR3 that I purchased. And when I got that truck, it actually came with a few things. So it had the sliders on it, it had the roof rack on it, it actually had a Proud Rhino front bumper as well. And I ended up selling that LR3 to a good buddy of mine, and then I bought the LR4 when it came to the dealership. So I had all these parts. So I threw everything on it. And yeah, it gives a little bit of a different look. I also have a ladder to go in the back of it that I need to install. I added these Land Rover Defender Steelies, which I think look pretty cool, with some Patagonia all-terrain tires. And they're pretty quiet. I was worried that they were going to be extremely loud, and they're not. So that's definitely a plus. One thing I like about the LR4 more than I liked about the LR3 is that the interior is actually a much nicer place to be. So you get a little bit more luxury features. You still have your double sunroofs, your triple sunroofs, but these actually, the only one that opens is going to be this top one right here. The other ones in the back do not. But still, like I said, 203,000 miles. Chain guides have been done. It's been a solid truck, and I daily drive it literally every single day, and it's been great. So the whole point of this video is just keep it short and sweet, kind of like I did with the disco video. Is yes, they can be good trucks. Are they a nightmare to own? Yes, they can be. Are they expensive to own? Yes, they can be as well. But once you get out of the growing pains of doing the timing chains, water pump, coolant crossover pipes, they're really pretty good trucks. It's a big 5.0 V8. It's not gas efficient whatsoever, but it rides very well on the highway. It's a comfy car. And it's, like I said, it's just been solid. It's been a really fun drive. So in the world where cars are now $600, $700, $800 a month that you have to pay monthly, if you have to spend a couple grand a year on a car like this and have no car note, I'd say that that's a win. Back when these came out, they were $50,000, $55,000 trucks, maybe a little bit more if you count today, due to inflation. But back then, I wouldn't pay $600, $700 a month for a car like this. But now, where you can get one super cheap for maybe $7 to $10 grand, obviously this is an anomaly at a $750, but I think that makes it worth it all the way around. It's super capable. I use my trucks for everything. So daily driving, wheeling in the snow, wheeling in the rock, wheeling in the sand, anything like that is something that I use my vehicles for, and I put a lot of miles on them. I'm a huge Land Rover enthusiast. I've got a 2020 Range Rover Sport Supercharged autobiography. I've had the Disco that you guys saw on the channel. I had a white LR4, like I said. I've had 2 other LR4s. And they're just fantastic cars. I absolutely love them. I love Land Rovers. I love what they stand for. I don't know. I just think that they're great, great vehicles. So like I said, I hope that answers some of y'all's questions. As long as you do the things like the timing chain guides, coolant pipes, water pump, and you don't overheat these engines, they're pretty solid. Of course, you know, after you dump 10 grand into it, I'm saying they're solid, but you know, it is what it is. They're kind of finicky cars. They're a little bit of special cars, but when they're driving, when they're running well, they're 100% worth it. People try to remove air suspension systems on them because they think that the air ride is unreliable. This one is still on the factory rear bags from 2011. I just replaced the 2 front ones because they were leaking overnight and they would actually come down a little bit. Air suspension on these are super stout. They used a Hitachi pump, which is Japanese, extremely reliable. So other than just, you know, some valve blocks here and there that may leak, and, you know, height sensors, they're really not bad suspension wise either. And they ride pretty good on the highway. You know, I'm not gonna say that they ride as good as the my white Range Rover, not even close actually, but they do ride pretty well. Better than most modern cars, I'd say. So I hope this answers some questions. If you're in the market for getting one of these and you're a little bit, you know, mechanically savvy, I say just get it. Get it, use it as an all-purpose vehicle. Just as a daily driver, I don't think it'd be the best option. There's definitely some better options out there. But if you're gonna use it to go to the beach, you know, to explore some roads you've never been down, you know, forest roads, things like that, take your family out because it does fit 7 people, just go for it, you know? Bite the bullet and buy one. I'm sure glad I did. Thank you guys. I'm gonna try to post more things on these on this channel and see if I can really get this YouTube thing going. So if y'all have any comments, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments. Thank you guys.